Actually, to be honest, I didn't see Eric very much. He spent a good chunk of his day at work. It turns out, though, that I arranged my schedule to maximize my time with the kids, and it turned out to be very nice for Eric's schedule, too, because I was there over the weekends, so the kids were home from school, but Monday was Eric's day off, so I was home for that as well. On Friday, he got up a little bit earlier than he got home a little bit earlier than he normally did, but he had to work as soon as he got back because there had been carpet cleaning and it had gotten delayed, and so it was still drying when we all got home. But Eric basically put the house back together, and all the furniture had to be moved back onto the carpeting and so forth, so that was a very big task. And we talked a little bit out by his van in the driveway, and this is his Comcast vehicle. Then I think he might have gone to basketball. I remember listening to him the next day talking about the pain he was in, and sports didn't used to hurt this much, and it's getting up there in age. I think we all are. Friday morning was interesting because I hadn't spent a morning there. This was the first morning I experienced, and I was able to get up in time to have breakfast with everybody, and Marcy had a wonderful breakfast there. And so Eric was there. He leaves in between the times that the kids go to school. So he leaves after Retna McKenna, but before McCallum Landon. And this is the time when he reads scriptures to the kids as they're eating. And he was also out in the living room, doing some exercise, stretching, and so forth. And he also took that time to show me a couple of really neat features on Comcast, and I have to say I am impressed. So I didn't really get any pictures of Eric until after church. And I snapped a picture of he and Marcy right after they got home. And these are, I think, nice pictures of both of them. And you'll have to ask Eric about his giving out dollars at church. It was quite an interesting story, but you really need to get it from him. Later on in the day, the home teachers came by, and they had a missionary in tow. Eric had asked me if I wanted them to give me a blessing, but I really couldn't understand them, and I really wanted the luxury of having relatives give me a blessing, and I had requested Mark's presence. Well, I think it was this Sunday that I gave Dad's ring to Eric, and we reminisced a bit. He was so much younger than I was when Dad died, and he didn't remember a lot of the things that happened that day or around that time period, so I was able to tell him a number of things he had forgotten or didn't already know. And he went home teaching with Red on Sunday. And then he came back, and in the midst of utter chaos, he fell asleep on the chair. And later on, after the kids had gone to bed, he arranged for my blessing, and he and Mark gave me a very nice blessing. And I was really torn as to which one I was going to have do what on the blessing, and they saved me the decision, and Eric anointed, and then Mark pronounced the blessing on me, and it was very nice, and I'm deeply grateful to Eric for setting all of that up. Well, Monday, I did get a lot of time to chat with Eric, and had a very nice time. And I think he liked having a sounding board other than Marcy, and she was able to do other work while he chatted with me, so maybe it worked out. Now, Friday turned out to be a day Eric stayed at home, and this was not planned. He had gone to basketball, and another player had actually clawed his eyes, and he was in really bad shape. So Friday he spent recuperating and sleeping, but unfortunately, that's when the new computer came. So we had to wake him up so he could sign for it. It had to be an adult, and it had to be somebody that lived there, so it wasn't something I could do. I was a little nervous about the computer showing up. I had promised to help them with a number of things, but Setting a new computer up is not my forte. This is something that Greg has always done. And so I was a little bit nervous, and amidst all the excitement, you can see where Eric's been sleeping. His hair is a bit tousled, but he got it set up beautifully, and there was nothing I needed to do other than what I'm good at and what I had prepared to do, setting up the kids' accounts and the security system and all of that. Later, I think it was Saturday night, we went to a party at the Hardys, and Eric had to come after we had arrived. He rode the motorcycle over after work, but he showed up. He looks almost like he's snarling in this picture, but he was in a very good mood. This is another picture of Eric there at the party, and I think he looks a lot happier in that one, and he had a good time from what we could tell. And he went into the recreation room or family room and chatted with Mark extensively. Since Eric's day off was Monday, he was able to go to Landon's game, and that was nice to have him there while Landon was playing. It was very nice to have the time to spend with Eric and get to know he and his family a little bit better, but I really have to admit there was one thing that happened that to me was almost unbelievable. It was hard for me to keep a straight face during it. Eric was actually lecturing and correcting the children on manners and courtesy. Can you imagine? That was gut-busting.